Well, we already have a track record within the automobile industry for supplying data cabling solutions and high-end audio solutions to various franchise dealerships. We've done a number of Audis in the past, and this one was our latest, and it tied in very well. The timing was very good to utilise a HD networking solution. Well, the requirements were to have a number of displays located around the dealership, both front of house, that's showroom areas, and back of house, workshops, sales offices, etc., and to be able to use those displays in a number of different ways. Utilising the NetworkHD, one of the great flexible attributes of that is that you're not limited in terms of inputs and outputs. So, for example, in comparison to a matrix solution, which has its place still, but not for us anyway at the moment, you're limited to equal number of inputs, outputs, 4, 4, 8, 8, 16, 16. I think from memory on this we've got something like about 5 by 18. The beauty of that is that if ever the client decides to introduce an additional source, we can simply just add another source, and we will then have a HD matrix configuration of 6 by 18, 7 by 18, 7 by 19. So it's a very, very flexible way of creating a matrixing solution which doesn't have inherent waste built into it in terms of redundant inputs or outputs. We're using the HD networking WyreStorm products and their controller. We then extended that into their own Enado control system, which is a very clever and intuitive system to use, iPad controlled. We develop our own templates, which are unique to each brand, and then at a final level unique to each dealership, which enables them to move content and to redirect content from a number of sources. So that could be Blu-ray, Freeview, it could be PC, laptop. If they have a product, a vehicle launch, then they can have a external launch company may come in, and they can jack into the system, and they can have the launch product video displayed on all displays around the dealership at any given time. It's important with a brand such as Audi that the aesthetics of everything is in keeping, of a high quality, of a high standard. For displays, that really needs to be quite inert with slick lines. The LG products that we use fit that bill very, very well. In terms of audio routing, within a dealership, it's necessary to have sound in showroom areas as well as back of house areas as well. So for that we've been utilising a cloud amplification product, and we use their DCM1 processor, which again is controllable via the Enado system, and then we use cloud amplification. So for speakers within the showroom areas, we use a Hatton system, which is 100-volt line technology, which is well suited to a large number of speakers in an open environment. We use 100-volt line, so all of these speakers are daisy-chained. Obviously, it's a summed stereo output. We don't need to worry about imaging within a large showroom environment. The iPad utilises an app which we then program, and that is utilised to control the day-to-day operation of the displays around the dealership in terms of what is displaying on each of them. So for example, some of them, customer lounge, might just have Freeview TV, whereas others within the sales areas would have sales-orientated content. It also enables the multiple displays to be automatically switched on and off at the beginning and at the end of the day, and keeps the control of the whole display solution seamless. For example, in their meeting room here, one of the perennial problems in any meeting room is connectivity in terms of VGA when it's still used, and it is, and HDMI, and it's not unusual to have 15 people sat around a meeting room table while somebody fiddles with a laptop trying to get it to work. So we listen to those problems, and we have a solution. Again, it's WyreStorm based, and we utilise their combined VGA and HDMI switcher and scaler. So basically now the client can plug in VGA or HDMI. They don't need to change any settings. They don't need to point remote controls or anything. The electronics just does it for them. And it lets them get on with what they're actually in here to do, which is to have a meeting rather than fiddling around with cables. We're very pleased with the way in which the install was delivered. It worked perfectly from day one. The client, Inchcape, and Audi Tunbridge Wells also are very pleased with it. And I think the success of a project such as this is that actually the control of it is very much background. They don't have to think about what they've got to get from A to B in terms of video or audio routing. It's all on an iPad. They just press a button and it does it.